my job at Clue. One day at the office, I was acting too cool, too aloof, and they fired my ass. That job fell through. Muttered to myself, fuck, bro, make it. Pick myself back up, my swagger's still too smooth. Yeah, the funds just transferred. You could call me a chancellor the way I'm such a tactician. Don't hand me no map if it ain't got no traps hidden. Yeah, you took it to a tactician. I need some detours, I need some echoes, I need some shadows. Bitch, this the digital Indiana Jones. Hey. Have my job at Clue. There it is, baby. Daily vitamins, we're back for another one. I guess I should move that down there for a little bit. Daily vitamins. This is your daily show, or my daily show. Here, we're good. This is my daily show. Where I hop on my computer, I make an image, put it in here, and then I kind of just vibe up, vibe code, read some stuff online, try to learn a bit, try to take some notes. Maybe I'll have some random rants, explore the internet. And yeah, as I have stated before, and I'll continue to state, largely this is just an experiment of me, putting my proof of work in, having like a verifiable trail of like, hey, this person shows up every day, and they get after it. They're curious, and I am curious. I think that we're living in a really interesting time where you have MCP servers, you have Manus, these autonomous agents. Obviously, the new advancements in LLMs, it seems like, every day, but particularly every month. It seems like there's some new threshold being reached. And yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, I guess a little bit backstory. I've never said this on stream, but my background is I kind of come from a marketing background, and trying to fix this image here. Kind of come from a marketing background, and in my last year at uni, I actually co-founded this startup, and basically got to this place where we were building this heads-up display that was focused at infinity, and we needed to stabilize this sort of vector image, going hundreds of kilometers an hour or miles per hour, and it just wasn't feasible. But on paper, the business sounded great, and we had some people that were interested in buying the product. We had a great team of advisors, and it was, yeah, the school was super excited about what we were doing, and we were all excited about it, and kind of fell apart because it's just a difficult thing to do to engineer that, particularly for three, undergraduates. So I was kind of left with this feeling of like, man, you really got to learn how to build. To me, that seemed like the most key thing because we could sell it. The vision was there and people were excited about the vision, but fundamentally, we just couldn't build the thing. And so I graduated March 2020 or April 2020, which obviously was a month after March 2020, which is a famous month. I don't think I need to say why. But yeah, once that happened, everything was kind of locked down. And so I started learning. I did two things that I think I'm really happy about and sort of are tangible changes in my life in the direction it's gone since March of 2020. And that's, I learned how to make music, which, that song, the intro here, Play It Every Day, is something that I made. I have tons of other ones, I'm sure. At some point, I'll get bored of that one. And stop playing it here, and maybe I'll find a new one that I'll like and want to share. But also check out the ones on my channel already. They are in the video section. These are all songs that I made, produced, and rapped on, and wrote in. They're not mastered very well, but I did master them. So maybe I edited them. It's tough to say I mastered. But anyways, so I kind of taught myself how to make music and I taught myself how to code. I've had one professional development job that was with this company called Microsoft, relatively large. Um, Unfortunately, they were on a hiring freeze. I'm not really sure why they brought on interns, but there wasn't actually a role for me. I was on the Windows Photos team, which obviously is a native application in every Windows device. And so it's not really a revenue or profit center for the company. And so, yeah, obviously, with interest rates being what they were and the general uncertainty in the economic climate, unfortunately, not a job for me there. But really great experience. I met some awesome engineers and definitely worked on my craft as an engineer. And since then, I really have just kind of continued on and I'm learning things. More recently, I was a salesperson at this company called Clue, which does some interesting stuff in the competitive intelligence product marketing space. Um, but that wasn't really a good fit for me. I really enjoyed sales and I think I was good SDR, but I didn't love the company. I wasn't really excited about what we were doing. And I don't know if it was something that, I would build myself. And fortunately or unfortunately, I do have the skills to build things. And so I do approach things with that lens, like, is this like a cool thing? And and for me, it just wasn't that exciting. Whew, excuse me. Wow. Um, excuse me. But yeah, those are the two things that I really focus on is building and selling. And I think in in the most discrete dimensions, I think the value you can provide any business and the value you can bring to any business or yourself is to learn how to build and learn how to sell. And so as I'm getting older, I'm trying to just build experiences in doing both. And and yeah, and right now I have a ton of free time. I'm not working, and we'll see what happens with that. I am talking to this one company about doing some educational stuff around artificial intelligence, maybe building some courses with a focus on front end development. But obviously, there's just so much tools now that really you don't need to learn the fundamentals uh, of like element tags, divisions, A tags, CSS, all this stuff, because the tooling's just there that it can do it itself. That's not to say that you should ever skip over the fundamentals. I think it's a great thing to know and to practice and be familiar with, but I don't think it should be like your be all and end all of your efforts when you try to build things. And and yeah, I just don't think I want to say it was Einstein that had a quote, but it was basically like, yeah, if it's easily accessible, it probably doesn't make sense to memorize something. Let's actually check that really quick. Let's check that. Einstein quote: "Don't memorize if you can find it easily." Yeah, yeah. Okay, is this? So it is attributed to Einstein. Never memorize something that you can look up. So so yeah, I mean, when you think about building things, it's like, yeah, it probably doesn't really make sense. Anyways, that's sort of a ramble that's not really relevant to what I want to talk about today, but let's just keep going until I get in the groove. If you've seen any of these streams before, it is relatively I don't want to say schizophrenic, but I don't really have like a plan in place. It really is just like I have a few things that I kind of want to arrive at and look at. Maybe I'll experiment with, but largely this is just me hanging out. And because there's a camera here, I suppose I feel a need to talk through it. Which Feynman uh, famously has this Feynman technique of like if you can't explain it to a child, then like you probably don't really understand it. And so uh, talking through things is definitely how I learn. And I don't really know how I feel about something until I actually say it out loud and get feedback on that. With the state of the channel today, there isn't any feedback, but but we're gonna show up every day, and I think I think if I keep pounding the rock, then eventually I will do something that's interesting on this stream, and I think as that happens, more people will filter in, and yeah. So I think right now I'm largely talking to my future self, and I guess anybody that pulls up and wants to take the time to dig through these like meandering streams that were early on, not really clear cut and focused, but I just try to get better every day. And that's sort of the title of this, right? Is Daily Vitamins. It's just like, um, I frequently wake up and I'm like, okay, I don't really want to make my bed or take the shower. It's not something that I'm like excited to do, but it is something that I often have to like sort of rise to the occasion to do. And I think it's good to just start your day with wins. And that's like doing push-ups and stretching and taking vitamins. And yeah, vitamins to me, I guess, are just nutrients and just putting good energy into your body. And so that's me just trying to put nutrients into my brain, work on my craft, learn some stuff. Anyways, I haven't really done one of those sort of flying soliloquies for the stream before, so let's see. Maybe I can craft that. Maybe every day I can come in and start with something like that and have a little preamble. But yeah, that's that. As the title suggests, I am looking at MCPs right now. I have a course through this guy named McKay Wrigley, who I think in my last stream I actually shared some links to his stuff. So if you are curious, go check out that video. The link should be there. Um, and I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it per se. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I do have an Obsidian vault where I've just kind of been sharing some of the links that I visit each day and maybe a few notes. So that's also a place that maybe I'll find a way to publish this vault. I know that there's like a $10 thing you can host your vault. Um, we'll see. I'm not sure if that's the route that I want to take. Because I do have a website, which I'll show you guys just because. Um, and so I think again, I made this image, I made this song too. Well, I was about to say I made it, but I sampled some things to create this. This image that you're looking at here, this image that you're looking at over there, the clouds, for instance, and the waves, you can see them kind of rocking. That's a vector image that I created. I have an overlay of these trees, and this is a photo that I took and then animated it with ChatGPT. Anyways, I do have a blog on here, and so that may be the most relevant place or best place to find this stuff. And as I think about that, I think it's actually a pretty good time to maybe edit my webpage. I don't know. That's not really the focus of today. I think I think I will make a note in today's stream notes about doing that. And yeah, let's get into it. Daily. This is Daily Vitamins episode 11, and I can put the thumbnail in there. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I should put the thumbnail in there. Status tags. This is gonna be vitamins. Vitamins. And while I'm here, I will actually go through and make these notes. How do I insert a template? Insert template. Mm. Vitamins. Cool, cool, cool. Um, where did that note go, actually? Wait, what just happened? Um, episode 9. Okay, da 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 da. And number 7, unit. And put it on here. Copy all that. We can actually just take that. Budgets, daily, vitamins, episode 8. Vitamins. Put that here. All right. Oh. Um, vitamins 9. Okay, cool. 8, 9, 10, 11, sorry. Let's daily vitamins, episode 8. Daily vitamins, episode 10. And daily vitamins, episode 11. All right, that's cool. Okay, place the visit. We're going to delete this one. Delete. Delete. And then delete that as well. Whoa, what is that one? 11, 10, 9. But sneeze again. Let's call this one daily vitamin 7. Honestly, I don't know where this one is supposed to be. So we're going to put it there. Okay. Alright. Well, I have got a mouse. I just got this pegboard today. Oh, it is just falling off. Is the cam just broken now? That is annoying. Camera hub is running. How does that work? iPhone camera. How does that look actually? Is that solid? That's such a word that I can have this chilling here. The pegboard perhaps? And I don't. Uh, hmm. That is kind of interesting with that. Looks like that. Well, yeah. Anyways, there's the camera board. I got the Elgato keyboard. Anyways, let's put this back here. Hopefully this works. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. I might need to actually just add a new. This is actually kind of garbage software. This Elgato Vision or Camera Hub rather. Find it really finicky. Same with their audio output, like the wavelength. It seems to me that when I unplug my setup here, my MacBook just doesn't want to play music on its speakers properly. Doesn't put the output right, even if I manually configure it. Um, where where is video capture? Audio input, video capture device. Yeah, add a source. Add camera. Okay. Um, what's going on here, man? This is ridiculous. It says the camera's on. Dude, remind me to never touch this camera again, I guess. Wow, this is ridiculous. Emotions, what's going on here? Hmm. Man, this is so frustrating. I hate how this happens. Like, why is this not working? Let's add a new one, I guess. Let's try it one more time. Add a new source. Elgato. Add source. But we want it to be the Elgato cam, which isn't working. Like, what is going on here? Photo boost. Does that work? Does that pick up that it's there? I don't understand. My PC just, or my MacBook just doing overtime right now or some shit. Alright, let's try close some stuff. Camera Hub is initializing its video engine. Have a great session. Do it then. Alright, well, let's see if that works. Doesn't seem like it is. Dude, what's am I gonna have to like download the software again? This is super annoying. Turn your iPhone into webcam. Click here to learn about Epoch Cam. I don't understand why this is happening. Let's quit that application. We're gonna try this once more. This is super annoying. I'm not happy with this action. This is very frustrating. Activity monitor? Is something going on with my like CPU? Is something just crushing this computer right now? CPU is system is taking 6%, users taking 10%. There's 80% idle. Why is this not working? It's crazy. Let's pull this up here so you guys can see what's going on. 1080p. Function check for updates. Yeah. Install update. Wonder if Wavelength needs an installation update or check for an update as well. Continue. Agree. Install. I'll go to camera hub, like control the computer. Open system settings. Camera hub. Yes. Allow. In the phone call here. Yeah, go ahead. Alright, stream. Sorry, I got a friend wants me to hop in Discord and talk to him real quick, so I'm here. Ask me to hop in Discord and isn't here. It's classic. Done. One day at the office, I was lazy to cool to fire. Okay, please open login items and extensions / camera extension in system settings and click allow. Camera extensions. View and finder. View details. Done. Hopefully this works. Allow. What is going on? What a garbage piece of software that Elgato has made is really freaking slow. It's frustrating to me. It says my camera's on, but it's not really on. This guy asked me to join Discord and then doesn't come in here. What's like, hey Tanner. Uh, Not much. Just having some issues with my stream right now. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. What's up, man? Peaks and yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sleep was good. Morning's great, I would say. I got this pegboard. Are you familiar with these? No, pegboard. Basically, it's kind of like a wall organizer. Like basically you can like glue or staple something to your wall, and it's like think of like a piece of plastic or metal that it just has a bunch of holes in it, and you can hook like little hooks onto it and then put things on there. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, yeah, I can show you if you want, since you're asking. Uh, how do I turn this around? There it
Were you going full Casey Neistat, eh?
is. Full Casey Neistat. That's funny. But that's a vibe. Eh? Look at that. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. No, don't cap. Yeah. Anyways, let me go back to my computer. All right, what's up, my bro? I'm gonna crash out right now. I can feel it. I don't know what's going on with this camera application. It doesn't work. What's up though? I thought you said you wanted me to come into Discord because you had something you want to talk about. Oh, so that was just cat. It's fine. It's fine. I thought because you said you wanted me to hop into Discord because you wanted to talk to me about something that you had something you wanted to talk about. You got some news, yeah? What is it? Yeah, sure. Oh, look at you. And yeah, I was just gonna say, so you said what? Nah, bro, I'm streaming. Mm-hmm. So you need me to be the foreman. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely ask. I don't know if you would or not, but because like we have this like internship thing coming up, So he might not, but I mean, I know he's definitely like, I don't know, but Vancouver, it's expensive. Don't have a job. Getting helped with rent every month. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just he's lazy. Um, and hmm um, because yeah, I mean, I know he's working with the family company in Edmonton. I don't really know. I hope not. Yeah. No, no, I don't think it would either, but it's just then you're yeah, it's just a pain, I would say, because then you got to deal with that whole thing. Um so so yeah, we'll see, but I know that he's like, "Oh man, like I like this," because he's working in the shop in the office and stuff. And he's kind of like, I'm sure for him he's kind of like, "Well, it's a bunch of old people here. I'm definitely like the most educated in the building and the most up to date and has information. That's not to say that he's like the most competent because he doesn't have like the strongest sort of like just drive or will to succeed. Um, but he's a smart guy. And so I think for him, he's kind of like, yeah, it's nice being here, man. Like it's a cool job. Like everybody's really nice, and I go to the office every day. I do some work, and I'm making money, and it's cool. So I think for him, he's definitely, I'm sure on some level, he's having an identity crisis where he's kind of grappling, like, should I just come here and do this? Because I know my dad said to him, Tyson and I talked about this, where my dad had said to him, like, dude, you should just, like, what are you doing out there? You should just stay here, work with this company, and in 10 years, you could be running it. And I know that perked up Tyson's ears. And I was like, dude, I totally agree. I had a very similar thought where I was like, okay, I don't need to be there to do this, but I think I could run this company. Um, like I think that they got a good business where they're profitable every year, and their customer is basically the government. So it's they have endless pockets, and you could probably do this thing pretty cheap and much better. Like my mom trained us on filing these claims, and I was like, dude, I could automate all of this stuff like so easily. So there's a lot of space for that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I think he's definitely flirting with going back, but I don't know if that's what he wants to do. And I know we're all in a similar situation where, yeah, like I'm happy to be at the manor for another year or two, kind of thing. But it's definitely I don't want to be here when I'm like 35, you know. And so yeah, we'll see. But you muted up, my bro, so I can't hear you if you're talking. No, you're good. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's super sick, man, and I'm happy for you then with the foreman thing. I hope that that all works out for you and they pay and they pay my bro what he's worth. How much how much are we talking? Yeah, standard. Yeah, buddy. All right, and I've fixed the stream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the nice part about staying in a place is that obviously they're like, hey, we like this guy, he works well. Like they want to keep you around. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I mean that's like it's valuable. People want people that have done that type of stuff. For sure. Are you feeling depressed today? Oh yeah. Yeah, you're down bad, man. That's that's down bad. You gotta you gotta respect yourself more. I don't understand how you sleep in. Like, boom, off the backboard. Hard. Just ox strength. Standard. My Madison's gonna be here soon. What do you mean it would be awkward? Mm-hmm. It, is it gonna make me better though? That's the only thing I really care about, to be honest. Just calmer aim. Yeah, ish. Not really though, but there's definitely been times where I'm like, oh, this is a little bit annoying this way. Okay, well, it better be. Let's. Yeah, I mean, I had a little rant this morning. Uh, but yeah, I'm about to learn some AI stuff if you want to watch. All right, man. Hell yeah, brother. All right, I'm gonna hop out of here then, and I'll probably lock in for an hour or two. Hopefully, my best gets here by then. I can actually just start it, whatever.
Usable AI agents are finally here, from deep research platforms out of OpenAI and Google to similar tools from xAI and DeepSeek. Joining the competition now is Manus, a brand new agentic AI platform that has taken the world by storm.
And today, we're launching an early preview of Manus, the first general AI agent.
When Manus officially launched, the hype around it immediately took off.
A Chinese startup unveiling a new AI agent that some are calling China's next DeepSeek moment.
With people calling it the most impressive AI tool they've ever tried, and the most sophisticated with people
Access, and it's true, man. This is the most impressive AI tool I've ever tried. The agentic capabilities are mind-blowing, redefining what's possible to UX. Is what so many other buttons.
calling it the most impressive AI tool they've ever tried, and the most sophisticated computer using AI. Unlike some of its predecessors, Manus wasn't just another specialized chatbot. It promised to be a true general-purpose AI agent. With invitations rare and access limited, the question remains, has Manus truly revolutionized the AI agent landscape? Let's find out. Behind all the excitement around Manus is something genuinely innovative, a multi-agent AI system that can seemingly complete all sorts of tasks, from travel planning and financial analysis to searching over dozens of files or doing industry research. So how does it work? Rather than relying on one big neural network, Manus works more like an executive overseeing a team of sub-agents, coordinating and guiding their every move across a shared action space. It takes in your prompt as input and gets to work figuring out what it needs to do. Instead of tackling your task in one go, a planner agent first comes up with a master plan to follow, breaking things down into manageable subtasks. This way, Manus knows precisely what needs to be done before executing and can hand off these tasks to other sub-agents. These are like Manus's own in-house experts. They share the same context, but each has its own delineated domain from knowledge or memory to execution. Manus can call upon an extensive suite of 29 different integrated tools. Whether they're automating web navigation, securely running code, or pulling important information from files, Manus's sub-agents intelligently decide which tools to use. Finally, when each subtask is complete, the executor agent combines the outputs together into a final, synthesized output for the user. Under the hood, Manus is powered by a pretty sophisticated dynamic task decomposition algorithm. This is what enables it to autonomously break down complex instructions into clear execution paths. To ensure stability, even after dozens of rounds of reasoning and tool use, the Manus team developed an original technique called chain of thought injection, enabling agents to actively reflect and update plans. At its core, Manus makes use of Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Manus also features robust cross-platform execution capabilities thanks to its seamless integration with open source tools like YC Company browser use for advanced website interaction and startup E2B's secure cloud sandbox environment. So what can Manus actually accomplish? Impressively, it can take on a wide range of real-world tasks. It excels in scenarios like creating travel itineraries, detailed financial analyses, and educational content. While it can also assist with valuable tasks like structured database compilation, insurance policy comparisons, supplier sourcing, and even assisting with high-quality presentations. To truly measure Manus's capabilities, we can look at Gaia, a benchmark designed to challenge AI agents on reasoning, multimodal handling, web browsing, and tool proficiency. Humans typically score about 92%, whereas OpenAI's deep research, in comparison, scored about 74% at its best. Manus smashed the state-of-the-art on Gaia, scoring 86.5%, just a few points shy of the average human. Still, despite impressive benchmark performance, Manus has reignited a broader conversation about the nature of AI startups at the application layer, wrappers. Some have dismissed Manus as merely a wrapper since it stitches together existing foundational models and various tool calls. But this dismissal overlooks an important reality. Most successful AI products today could also qualify as wrappers by this logic. Cursor and Windsurf, for example, integrate existing LLMs alongside external APIs and
You talking to
developer-focused
me?
tooling, such as real
What's up, Travis?
time code analysis and debugging utilities. Domain-specific agents like Harvey combine foundational models with legal-specific tool integrations, case law retrieval, compliance checks, and document analysis. Clearly, many useful applications do fit the wrapper mold. And for many developers, it makes sense to go this route. As Manus co-founder Yichao Peak Ji told us himself, from day one, they decided
Nope.
to work orthogonally to model development,
No.
wanting to be excited rather than threatened
My
by
account's
each new model release.
my
What
account's all
distinguishes
buggy. I don't know. It's got me stuck in bronze. So that's cool. What about you, man? How was Verdansk?
successful wrappers from their less effective counterparts is typically a bunch of things: intuitive UI, proprietary evals, much more careful fine-tuning of foundational models, and thoughtfully designed multi-agent architectures. And this is a good example of that. Manus itself illustrates these trade-offs really well. On the positive side, its multi-agent orchestration helps deliver significantly lower per-task costs, around $2 a task, compared to integrated competitors like OpenAI's Deep Research. Manus also offers greater transparency and user control, letting users directly inspect, customize, or replace individual sub-agents and tool integrations, a degree of flexibility centralized platforms rarely match. One of the coolest things Manus figured out was actually exposing the file system so you could see exactly what the agents were doing. ChatGPT requires you to reprompt, and it's opaque what's happening when it's thinking. Manus is a glimpse into the future of ChatGPT desktop operating directly on your computer, and it will be cool to see how much more control you'll get when it's happening there instead of a browser. But there are a few clear limitations. Coordination across specialized agents becomes increasingly difficult as tasks scale or complexity grows. More critically, its current advantages, UX refinements, targeted fine-tuning, thoughtful integrations, are vulnerable to competitors just coming along and doing that as well. These strengths and weaknesses are generally shared by wrappers. They allow you to have really rapid deployment, iteration, and specialized UX at lower upfront cost. But they're also vulnerable to disruption, such as API pricing changes or provider policy shifts, which can quickly erase any of the cost benefits. Ultimately, the critical challenge isn't deciding whether wrappers are viable, but identifying genuinely sustainable differentiation for your product. For founders, this might mean investing early in proprietary evals that are expensive or time-consuming to replicate, embedding your workflows deeply into specific user routines to increase switching costs, or identifying integrations with platforms or datasets competitors can't easily access. In the end, success in AI doesn't hinge on reinventing the wheel, but rather on who can stitch together the existing models into a product users genuinely love.
Okay. Yeah.
As we kind of kick off building our first MCP server, I want to talk a little bit about some of the really helpful resources that you can kind of use within the MCP docs. They actually have a lot of really good stuff here. So first of all, the introduction, we've been kind of looking at this through the previous section a little bit, but if you haven't kind of just perused through this, I think this is a really great supplement to the video lessons that you just watched. So definitely recommend you kind of peruse through the introduction here. And once you feel like you kind of understand the what and the why of MCP, what we can do is we can move on to for server developers. Okay, so we're actually going to be building the same weather server that you've been seeing me kind of demo for you guys. This is actually what the quick start is in the docs. So the way that we're gonna go about this course is we're gonna actually follow along with this quick start guide. And the reason that we're gonna do this is because I think getting your environment set up can be one of the trickier steps for beginners here. And then just learning some of the basic things like connecting to clients. Okay, so we're gonna be connecting both to the Claude desktop app and to Cursor in this section. Okay, so if we just kind of follow along with the quick start here, we're gonna have a really standardized way to get everybody on the same page, just kind of get a first example server up and running. And then in the next section, we're gonna be building our own server. Okay, and so I'm gonna be building the linear server that I've been showing you guys. You can also follow along in that section with any other idea you want. One of the things that we're gonna be teaching you in the next section is how to actually build MCP servers with AI tools, with LLMs. So this is gonna make your life really easy. But here in the quick start, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. So what we're gonna be building is we're gonna be building the weather server. Okay, so we're gonna be building an MCP server for the first time that is going to be able to hook up to both Claude desktop and to Cursor and to any other Cursor or any other MCP client that is supported. And we're going to be able to use the get alerts function and the get forecast functions. And remember, function calls, which is very standard kind of in LLM APIs, inside of MCP is referred to as tools, right? We just kind of covered tools in the last lesson of the last section. So we're going to be exposing two tools to MCP clients from an MCP server. That's kind of the gist of what we're going to be doing here. So some of the things that are helpful here is obviously the quick start docs are very thorough here. Definitely recommend you peruse through those kind of as we go about the section here. One of the really helpful things that the MCP docs has is it has this llms-full.txt. And what you'll notice is this is literally a web page with the entirety of the docs in text form. So what ends up being really nice that you can do, and we're going to be covering this a little bit more in the next section, is I can actually just copy this entire thing. I can go paste this into Claude or into ChatGPT or whatever I'm using, maybe use Grok. You can actually post the entirety of the docs there. And here you can ask any question about MCP you want. You can ask it to help you build a server. If you want to, maybe something is fuzzy to you about the protocol itself, you want to ask it about that. Just throw all of those tokens in here, ask the question from the AI model, and it's going to get you an answer, right? Super cool thing. We're going to have the links for this below. Awesome way to help you learn MCP and help you build MCP servers and clients and whatever else you want to build with the protocol. So that's super helpful. We're also going to be using the TypeScript SDK. We're going to cover this a little bit more in the next lesson, but the TypeScript SDK is how we're going to be building our MCP servers. If you are somebody who does prefer Python or Java, we now have support for Python SDK, Node SDK, and a Java SDK here. So we're going to be using the Node SDK. Obviously, if you're on Takeoff, you know that we're big fans of TypeScript, and we think that this is the most helpful way to kind of build complete full stack applications across the entire stack. So we're going to be sticking with TypeScript because that's kind of what we know and love and teach on the platform here. And their TypeScript SDK is super easy. Adding tools, resources, and prompts to your MCP servers is like ridiculously easy. So we'll obviously be covering that. And last but not least, one of the things that's very helpful, we mentioned this earlier, but there are example servers that you can go check out, right? One of the ones that we sort of perused through was that file system MCP server, right? The code's open source, so if you're seeing cool servers out in the community, and you're like, man, I'd really love to build something like this, or I'd love to kind of take some of the functionality of these two servers and mix them into one, right? Go actually check out the code, right? Just like you can paste the entire context of the MCP docs into your AI chat app, ask questions about it, you can do the same thing with the code that you find in these servers, right? If you're, see 3 different servers that you want, copy and paste all the code, paste it into your AI chat app and say, hey, I want to use X, Y, and Z of these servers with this other thing that I want to do. How do I build that? And the AI at this point, our models are so good that we have access to now, are going to be able to help you do that. So another really helpful thing that you can do as we start building servers is you can actually just go look at the existing source code for existing community servers. Very helpful resource. Again, we're going to link to all of these things below. So those are some of the resources that are going to be helpful to you as you're going through this course, and not just through this course, but as you kind of leave here and you start actually building these MCP servers out in the wild, and you start building on top of some of the things that people in the community have built and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be really helpful kind of suite of resources that you're going to want to be aware of. With this other thing that I want to do, how do I build that? And AI at this point, our models are so good that we have access to now, are going to be able to help you do that. So another really helpful thing that you can do as we start building all of these things below, but actually building these MCP, you start building resources that you're going to want to be aware of.
I think I like this chunk slave.
Another really helpful thing that you can do as we start building all of these things below, but actually building these MCP, you start building resources that you're going to want to be aware of.
I think I like this Chungus leg. Wag your tail if you're a Chungus. Oh, got him. I think I like this Chungus leg.
As we kind of kick off building our first MCP server, I want to talk a little bit about some of the really helpful resources that you can
I'm
kind of
gonna
use within
sign out
the
there. I'll
MCP
come back
docs.
in a bit.
They actually have a lot of really good stuff here. So first of all, the introduction, we've been kind of looking at this through the previous section a little bit, but if you haven't kind of just perused through this, I think this is a really great supplement to the video lessons that you just watched. So definitely recommend you kind of peruse through the introduction here. And once you feel like you kind of understand the what and the why of MCP, what we can do is we can move on to for server developers. Okay, so we're actually going to be building the same weather server that you've been seeing me kind of demo for you guys. This is actually what the quick start is in the docs. So the way that we're going to go about this course is we're going to actually follow along with this quick start guide. And the reason that we're going to do this is because I think getting your environment set up can be one of the trickier steps for beginners here. And then just learning some of the basic things like connecting to clients. Okay, so we're going to be connecting both to the Claude desktop app and to Cursor in this section. Okay, so if we just kind of follow along with the quick start here, we're going to have a really standardized way to get everybody on the same page, just kind of get a first example server up and running. And then in the next section, we're going to be building our own server. Okay, and so I'm going to be building the linear server that I've been showing you guys. But you can also follow along in that section with any other idea you want. One of the things that we're going to be teaching you in the next section is how to actually build MCP servers with AI tools, with LLMs. So this is going to make your life really easy. But here in the quick start, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. So what we're going to be building is we're going to be building the weather server. Okay, so we're going to be building an MCP server for the first time that is going to be able to hook up to both Claude Desktop and to Cursor and to any other Cursor or any other MCP client that is supported. And we're going to be able to use the get alerts function and the get forecast functions. And remember, function calls, which is very standard kind of in LLM APIs, inside of MCP is referred to as tools, right? We just kind of covered tools in the last lesson in the last section. So we're going to be exposing two tools to MCP clients from an MCP server. That's kind of the gist of what we're going to be doing here. So some of the things that are helpful here is obviously the quick start docs are very thorough here. Definitely recommend you peruse through those kind of as we go about the section here. One of the really helpful things that the MCP docs has is it has this LLM.
So get started building your own server to use in Claude for desktop and other clients. In this tutorial, we'll build a simple MCP server and connect it to a host, Claude for desktop. We'll start with the basic setup and then progress to more complex use cases what we're building. Many LLMs do not currently have the ability to fetch forecasts and serve weather alerts. Let's use MCP to solve that. We build a server to expose two tools, get alerts and get forecasts. Then we'll connect the server. Okay. Because servers are locally run, MCP currently only supports desktop hosts. Remote hosts are in active development. Okay. So MCP servers can provide three main types of capabilities. These are resources, tools, and prompts. Got it. Build it in Node. For Claude, for TypeScript, make sure you, okay, so let's pull up our code editor here. Why can't I? All right, settings. Let's make that bigger. I don't even know what this would be called. The Abyss. Okay. Da 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 da. New. Let's put a new terminal. CD desk development, and then we're gonna go node version, npm version. Okay, cool. Cool. We're gonna say, well, let's just see what it says. So make dir weather cd into dir. So make directory weather MCP. Let's just call it weather. CD into weather. Cool. npm init. Cool. Okay. Made index.ts. Cool. Okay. Now, user package.json. tsconfig.json. Oh, All right, so now do I have Claude? Okay, let's open Claude Desktop. What is the weather forecast? Got that. Hey, good man. How are you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. What I'm up to right now? Uh, Have you heard of MCP servers?
Like, wait, what?
Have you heard the term MCP servers? Okay, basically, there's this new protocol that's been released that allows you to make tools and resources for LLMs. So, like for instance, if you're familiar with Claude and the big models that's out right now, Azure ChatGPT, if you went on Claude right now, you could search up, hey, what's the weather forecast? I realized I didn't. Um, All right, so we need to find the Canadian weather API. Canadian weather. Yeah.
Lost a little bit of money in Q1, which I thought probably knew we would. But we're in a spot where like we're trying to like because if it takes one from someone around making money, then it's actually like it's not that we're great for lose money, it's more so that this model is like probably isn't gonna work out to take off. And so it's kind of where we're at, right? Like it's back to Germany.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. And is that like is that a seasonal thing for you? Like generally like, oh, I want the summers to be more available, or is that just like generally like all year round, you're like, I don't really want to work more than 40 hours a week? Damn, bro. What do you want to do with your time? Working? Yeah. Yeah. Eating is important. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So you're kind of like in this mode of like, I want to think about like, ideas more than I want to like do like tactical things, kind of. Yeah. How much do you charge for that? Yeah. Hmm. Big dog. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. 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 Yeah, for sure. Was that's Hermosi, right? Isn't that to make it offer so good they feel stupid saying no? Charge 1,000. Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like you enjoy doing that, it makes you some money. Like I mean, most people are happy with a $625 day. And that probably wasn't even your whole day. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you do that every day, that's you're not hurting. It could be a lot more, like you say, right? It's like, okay, well maybe I do this for 100 people and $50 or one group for 1,000, but still. Sick man. Hmm. Stream is ruined for the day, I guess. Just keep bouncing in and out. Ayy, yeah. Visiting the plaza looking luminous. I'm like a knight in shining armor. See a crow as it's digging through the garbage. Think to myself, that's the cousin. We all just animals looking for some sustenance. What's the value? Never took no value. Though I've shown the symptoms. When I do, I clean my bedroom. But when I do, I hop up in the ocean, that's my pool. Sitting at the beach as I read upon this book, poignant. Since I was a child, being told that I'm anointed. Born and bred to be a leader, fed and led to seek the seeker. All my bitches eaters, all my ops be leeches, all my dogs be drinking water by the liter. We so nourished and moisturized. Took my eyes off the prize, wondering what's next. Put the fries in the bag, got me vexed. Yeah, yeah.
Chicken stir fry with rice noodles.
Some of the best street food I've ever eaten was in Asia. Every one of those little markets was filled with smells of delicious food that all centered around an Asian staple, noodles. Learn to cook those properly, and you'll be surprised how quick and easy it is to knock up a delicious dinner. First off, we're going to soak our noodles. Now, these are rice noodles. Into a bowl, and just pour the hot water over the rice noodles. Soak and rehydrate. 12 to 15 minutes to soften up. If you've got a wok, perfect. If not, just a normal size frying pan with big sloping sides. Pan on. Get it really nice and hot. Chicken breast, very lean, hardly any fat. On there, you've got this little fillet. Just slice that off. Now, the secret to getting it really nice and thin and to cut it into strips. Take your knife, keep it nice and flat on the board, and sort of slice it in half, like a sort of scallop. Like that. We call this butterflying the chicken. Take a rolling pin and nice and gently roll over the chicken. And what it does, it sort of flattens it, allows you to slice it even thinner. And the thinner the slice of the chicken, the sort of crispier it gets, the quicker it cooks. Slice it in half. Just start slicing these nice, thin slices. And the good news is, one chicken breast can serve 2 or 3 easily. Next, wash your knife and finely slice garlic. The thinner the garlic, the crispier. This is a young, tender broccoli. Just slice them down. I want a bite to the broccoli. And normally you sort of paste the dish with 1/3 noodles, 1/3 vegetables, and 1/3 of your protein, chicken. With a dish that takes literally minutes to put together, it's really important to get everything organized. Everything needs to be at your fingertips. Touch of olive oil. Get that pan really nice and ready. Just starting to smoke. Drop the chicken in first. Touch of salt, pepper. Open up those little strands of chicken. Nice. Once you've started to sear off the chicken, get the garlic in. Now, let that get really nice and crispy. And the way to do it is to sort of spread all the chicken, the garlic, up the side of the pan. You can see why it's so important to cut the chicken into thin strips, because it colours and cooks at the same time as well. Really, really crucial. Now that garlic's getting really nice and crispy. Broccoli in. Feels strange putting raw broccoli in like that. Normally, we blanch it in boiling water, dry it out, but you want that crunch. Now, soy sauce. That helps to season it, but also stains beautifully. Soy sauce in. Lovely. That's exactly what I want. Now take that out. Give your pan a little wipe out. A little teaspoon of olive oil. Get that wok really nicely oiled again. Drain your noodles. They're beautiful. This is a really exciting way of finishing this quick stir fry. Very classic. 2 eggs in. Whisk up the eggs. And give that a really good whisk. Sort of almost spread it up the side of the pan. Lightly season the eggs, noodles in, chicken and broccoli in. And give that a really nice mix. You want the egg to sort of almost bring the dish together. That egg's cooked. Make sure you got that nice, even distribution of chicken, broccoli, garlic. Lovely. And then just finish that fresh lime. And there you have a very simple delicious stir fry with rice noodles.
Oh, oh, chat. Making that for sure. Oh yeah, looks good. Looks real good. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. It's about that time. I gotta get ready. Cook my darlings some dinner. So I'm gonna go. Well, let's see what the boys are saying real quick. Let's just check in.
How does this practice as the last home practice of the season feel compared to the same time last year?
Way different energy, different vibes, for sure. I think this year we really made a step forward in what we're building here. I think we got some good pieces in these younger guys coming in. I just think that just the team morale, everything is on a high right now for us. We know what we're building towards, so everybody feels good right now.
It's like a day-to-day thing. Sometimes most of the time it feels better.
Canadian talent is really next level.
How's your hand doing?
Hands doing all right. It's like a day-to-day thing. Sometimes most of the time it feels better the next day when I'm not doing too much, but it feels great right now. I've been off a little bit. It feels good.
After having the end of last season taken from you, why was it important, or why is it important for you to end this season on your own terms and not just sit out to rest the hand?
Of course, I was out last year, but I had some time off this year as well. I had dealing with some injuries on my ankle. I got hit in the eye one time. I was out for a little bit of time then, but I just love basketball. I love to play. So every time I'm able to be out on the floor, I just want to go out there and give them all. Keep building with this team, keep getting better.
Individually, I know there's a few games left. What do you make of your season, how it's gone?
It's been a solid season. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we'll just keep progressing. I feel like I'm progressing, keep getting to know these guys, keep learning how to lead, keep trying to take this thing to the next level each and every single day. So I really enjoyed this season. Of course, we wish we was in a better spot, but I'm just so happy to be able to keep building these things with these guys each and every single day, and then come back next year and we're gonna come back strong. So I'm super excited to see the bigger picture of what's gonna happen. So you can see my smile on my face. I'm just super excited.
I know go ahead, Doug.
How is Darko different at the end of this year as opposed to the end of last year?
What?
How is Darko different at the end of this year as opposed to the end of last year?
I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know.
You haven't seen him change at all over the course of the season?
It's been great both times. So we got nothing to complain about from Darko. He's been great leading us, talking to us each and every single day, holding guys accountable. That's what we need as a team in order to grow, keep getting better. And one thing about him, he's never going to take his foot off the gas. He's going to keep continuing to motivate and pushing us each and every single day.
Scotty, as the leader of this team, what have you seen among the young players on your team, and what do you expect for them to take the next step?
Like I said every time when I'm talking about them, man, we got some